all of that.
Let's get a mutual race right there.
I don't know what you just said.
I love you very much.
Yes, that.
Dame un beso. Por favor, no cruce de frente del autobús.
What does that mean?
Please do not cross in front of the bus.
You love me.
Yeah, it is.
My parents used to say Dame un beso. I was born in Spain, so my first word was mano. Dame un beso is something that I just never my parents.
That's really, really, yeah.
Obviously, you guys are friends, right? Do you think that your friendship has helped you the chemistry of your character?
Friends? Not friends. Family.
I don't know if I would say specifically in the show, but I do think that it helps doing stuff like this together and doing press together. Because, I mean, for myself, but like having outside and things like that, it's definitely helpful to have people that you feel safe with and trust to travel around with. So that's definitely a really good benefit of actually enjoying each other's presence.
Yeah, it's really helpful being friends with each other, as Erin was saying. How like we do a lot of these conventions together, and we do press together, and so actually liking each other is very important. I will say now, it is weird looking at Erin, knowing what happened with our characters. Like, hey, we're still just friends, you and I.
Every single season I've asked Carrie, it was like, is it this one? Are we doing it this one? So when I finally knew that it would be fine, I was just waiting to read the scripts. It was so good. It was really nerve-wracking because this is a moment that we've been just waiting for and building up to for 10 years, and so we want to make it like as perfect, like give it the justice that it deserves. So it was really exciting, also a little nerve-wracking, but I think having like worked up to this and how that, I think we did it without being super stressed.
I think the flow, like how everything progressed throughout the show, that helped make it like very unique.
Yeah, and I think something too that we talk about is they're teenagers. They're still discovering themselves. They're still learning what they want, who they like, what they like. And so I think it's a very natural progression that they went through with like discovering themselves and their sexuality, but also like a slow burn of like falling in love with someone and trying to like realize your feelings for someone who's your friend and trying to understand that. I remember recording the episode and knowing that it was season 9, episode 6. I was like, it's like 69 in reverse. I just kept thinking that the whole time.
In connection with that, I know that there's a lot of people who are really upset about like Black Sun, but I feel like what happened was just what happens with teenagers. Like obviously, that people can see like a chemistry that's happening there, but I don't know how to explain this very well. I'm not doing very well. Like people meet each other and people like each other, people don't like each other. And I feel like Sun definitely really liked Blake, but I think Blake was going through such a thing at the time because she was going home to see her parents again after running away, being so anxious and upset and disappointed in herself. So she wasn't exactly focused on like, love somebody. It was more like, let me love myself. So I can see it, but that's just how life is. Like people go in and out of these relationships and navigate them. That's just blood flowing of things.
think also, just from my perspective, like Sun, at the time that Blake really needed it, it was familiarity, it was camaraderie, and a shared culture too, so it made sense that they gravitated toward each other, but there was just a lot of connection between Yang and Blake that had already existed and was allowed to blossom, so.
I read something somewhere about how, even though in the very first episode, Yang is like talking about all the boys, but she's 100.
Oh my god. Yeah, I noticed that. Okay. In like the first episode, first season, Yang's talking about like all the boys and stuff, but she's 100% like already looking at Blake. And people are like, maybe this is some kind of like cover up for her to like start with it. Yeah, right? Well, because RWBY goes like, look at that girl, and you're already looking at her. Like, you've been looking at her this whole time, and she goes, come over. So I thought that was really cheeky. What girl? I didn't notice. I want to redub like Yang pulling me over, and I'm like, I don't want to go meet your girlfriend. No. I think we're gonna do Q&A after.
Yeah, we're going to the.
Sorry, we can't hear you.
It's fine. I was going to ask you. The show has so much badass music. So I was asking if you could choose a song. It can be like a pop song that describes each of your characters. What would it be?
From Shadows?
Yeah.
For anyone who saw yesterday's episode, all around me are familiar faces, worn out places. Yeah. Real songs or RWBY songs?
It can be, yeah, real songs. I think he will be a fan of Taylor Swift. Right? Like he was raised with all his sisters, so I think he'll be a huge fan of Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah. I think Yangs would be that one.
Yeah.
I feel like Blake would listen to anything by Tegan and Sarah. I don't know. Or, yeah, right? Or, no, she's fine. Wait, no, that'd be more like RWBY right now, actually. I could almost see Weiss just like, I don't know, but I'm not a girl, not yet a girl. I'm Britney Spears. She would totally be a Britney Spears fan. I'd close a Britney Spears fan, like Madonna or Britney Spears, absolutely. I just like that.
Okay, I know you guys want to ask questions. If anyone needs a translation, I can do it. So, is there a mic? Yeah, okay, so there's a staff there. If you have a question, go up. Oh, okay, here you go. You can start in line here at the front.
Don't run all at once.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy. Don't be shy. The ones that went here, they want to talk to you.
Out on this fine Easter Sunday. I don't know.
Oh yeah, happy Easter!
Happy Easter!
Yeah. For anyone who observes, happy Easter. Thanks for spending it with us.
¿Cómo se dice happy Easter? Feliz Easter. Feliz Día de Pascua. Día de Pascua.
What?
Feliz Día de Pascua.
Oh, Día de Pascua.
Yeah. Feliz Día de Pascua.
Easter.
Did the Easter bunny come for everyone? Feliz cumpleaños. Hey, sir.
Before I ask that, I just want to, I'm not sure how common this is, but always open is what really got me introduced to you.
Yeah.
And I just want to tell you, I'm so glad it's back.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So my question is, so since volume 1, I feel like our song mostly, emotional ceremony, her mental state has really been, implied from the beginning, she's having all these issues. I know you already kind of mentioned it, but I just was hoping you could go a bit in depth of how you thought that, there's nothing within.
I'm sorry, we missed the last tail end of that. I'm so sorry. One more time.
Sorry.
You're good.
I was just hoping, to get your thoughts on how I'm done talking about it.
Are you talking about RWBY's emotional state?
Yeah. Now that we're finally actually getting into it, just your thoughts on it.
Yeah, from an acting standpoint, it's incredibly rewarding. I've loved playing Ruby, and she's been a driving force of positivity not only in the show but in my personal life, and I'm sure other people can relate too. However, I can definitely identify with and like seeing her kind of reach that cathartic moment of like, I can't handle this anymore. I've been compartmentalizing, I've been internalizing all of these heavy negative emotions. And while it's not the healthiest response, I understand her kind of lashing out at people, even the ones that she loves, and trying to just like rediscover who she even is, or if she wants to even take up this responsibility that's been given to her. So again, like from an acting standpoint, this volume specifically has been so rewarding, and it's only going to get better from there. Not that I can spoil the next few episodes,
I think the next 2 episodes of RWBY Volume 9 are some of my favorite episodes of RWBY of all time. Like, if you enjoyed season 9 so far, like, just wait.
That episode was amazing. Let me tell you, I think it's my favorite so far.
Thank you. I like 6, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's very dark, but I think like it was surprising. Like it's dark, it has a lot of trauma, but at the same time it's rewarding seeing the evolution of the characters from the beginning to what they are now. Next.
Hi. All have been an inspiration for me, so thank you, first of all. My question is, how does it feel to act all these heavy scenes? Because Volume 9 has been a very strong season when it comes to the emotional trauma of all the characters. God.
yes. I'll speak on like the negative, sad emotions, but like, I mean, it's heavy emotions for Bumblebee too. Do y'all want to talk about acting that scene? Because watching was phenomenal.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure. You want to do it right, especially a scene like that we've been waiting for almost 10 years. That I know a lot of people who watch the show are really invested in and really care about deeply. And so doing that scene right was so important to me as a parent. And I know like when I went to record that scene, I like finished the session and I was like, I wish I could do that again because I don't think I did it right. And so you get in your own head of like wanting to portray these emotions and these important moments in the show right and do it well. But it meant a lot to be able to do it, and I feel like we did it in the way we would do it. Yeah, I was really proud.
It was really fun to have Blake be so, like, she knew what needed to happen. She was just like, she was the instigator in this, and that's very different from the Blake that we meet in the beginning. So it was fun to play her in like this very almost desperate sense in a positive way, kind of thing. Yeah, it was a lot of fun because you can just hear the like longing. I love this.
And now we enter the moonlighting section. Hello everyone.
I love it.
Yeah, let me talk about the longing as the lights dim. Yeah. Thanks.
Should White City go?
Playing off.
I'll give them a moment.
But yeah, no, it was just a different level of emotion because I think Blake's been all whiny and stuff before. But this was like a different level.
I also think that being in the ever after kind of situation that we're in with this volume gives these characters these opportunities to have these moments that make it really impactful, really special, because it kind of forces them into kind of thinking about themselves deeper and what they want and who they are. And I think obviously for Blake and Yang, it had a positive effect. RWBY, not so much. She's going through it right now. It's our path. Yeah.
There's that framework too. I do like that it's an imaginary world, but the feelings could not be more real around us.
Nick?
Big fan of following this since the Red trailer.
You.
That was a big project for Monty. And what was it like when you guys heard about the project? You guys asked or were you asked to do it?
We were all asked to do it before Monty consulted with anybody on the animation team. And so I think it was our producer at the time said, well, let's actually have an audition for the roles and see if they actually could voice act and play these characters. But if you actually look at the Red trailer, you see all of our names at the end. Like Lindsay Tuggy at the time, Kara Everly, Aaron Zek, Barbara Dunkelman. We had not...
Bring it back!
We hadn't auditioned yet at all, and so our names were already there, which was really funny. But I think for all of us, we didn't realize how big this was going to be, and so we're like, yeah, I'll voice this character in this show you're making, Monty. That sounds fun. Like, it'll be a fun little project. And then RWBY happened.
Question. Oh, yes. Yeah, I was the only one who wasn't actually working there. I was just Miles' girlfriend at the time who was always around. But yeah, Monty just, I think he had this weird sort of mystic reason for choosing me for Blake, because Blake was the character that he hadn't like, quite fleshed out 100%. Like, it was kind of a mystery to him, and I was still a mystery to him as a person. So it was like this weird sort of cosmic, like, you guys can figure each other out, that kind of thing. But this was my first like voiceover thing. I'd been in acting ever since I was a bitty, but to jump into voice acting with this, it was a fun learning curve. It was the first time any of us had done any sort of voice acting. It was the first time any of us had ever done any sort of voice acting before. I happened to be the receptionist at Rooster Teeth when this happened, and as the receptionist at Rooster Teeth, I had a lot of ideas passed by me. People, you're like, hi, what's going to happen tomorrow? Go buy 50 gallons of eggnog for a pool. It's great. But anyway, yeah, so Monty basically come by and explained the whole story to me and thought that I would be that's much of it.
I think, to summarize it, I know, stop it, up there. Monty, he trusted a lot of us with these characters, and kind of the same thing. I was working at Rooster Teeth as an editor, although I had trained and went to college for acting, both in film and like theater productions. I never knew how to get into voice acting, and I just thought maybe that'd be a pipe dream. Monty approached me, and he showed me a bit of the Red trailer, and it was the part where RWBY like transforms her scythe and it goes into the ground, and she starts doing like the recoil on the sniper. I was like, this is so cool, Monty. This is amazing. I love anime. I'm a huge anime nerd, so I was like, we're making an anime-inspired show. That's great. So I'm just like hyping up the idea, and then he turns to me and he's like, do you want to play this character? I'm like, oh my god, sure. Yes, thank you. Barbara's right. We had like an official audition process. Monty allowed me to audition for Kira and Blake too, which was also just really fun. And Aaron and Jen nailed those characters too, so I'm glad we settled where we did, but it was a real whirlwind of like, oh, you want us to be involved with this? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Nice to meet you all. Thank you for coming to Puerto Rico.
Mucho gusto.
Happy Easter. I have a question. Question is, I want to test your imagination. What would you put story if you have control for one episode? Expansion.
Sean and wife together forever.
Too late.
I have two answers. I really want a beach episode. Right? Maybe they're on a beach in Puerto Rico. That that, or I want there to be a big workout montage with Yang, where she's just like pumping iron and like flexing. I just want that.
If that happens, I'm like just sitting in a corner just watching.
This is good.
Oh wait, like in Chibi, like at the like ninja.
I feel like Blake would be filming Gang's workouts. Gang's like, babe, can you spot me? This is for later. Especially coming off of Volume 9, I would go like polar opposite and just have like rave parties. Like, hey, that was really depressing. Let's hop over here and just dance for a little bit. Remember Volume 2 prom arc? Let's go back to that for a second.
Yeah, I have no imagination right now. I'm gonna be real with you, fam.
Hello. Okay, I want to do a little sidetrack on suppression. So, what is the weirdest thing you've ever had to say in the booth? Like a line that you have to say that you look at and you're like, do I have to say that? Or the most humorous line you've ever said?
From RWBY specifically, or
Whichever.
well, it's not really a line specifically that I like disagreed with, but it was a tongue twister that I didn't realize would be really hard to say until I started trying to say it in a sentence, and I cannot say these snowshoe shipping. No, it was a very good tongue twister. The snowshoe shipping. Mine was probably from a show called Elena the Wandering Witch. I was a character called the Ripper, and she was that insane. And she would just like kind of pump people's emotions, just being like, no, let me see your face! Like things like that. So she was just super creepy and like, I just want to watch you be mad, that kind of thing. So that was kind of weird. It's always fun with anime because you never know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything like weird or funny from RWBY that I could pinpoint to. But I do voice a character in Red vs. Blue named Jensen.
And she talks like this?
And so when I do that voice, I just spit everywhere. And they purposely made that character report to Simmons. So it's Simmons? And I remember like always having to like wipe down the microphone after I did it. Because it would just be, and I probably spat all over this now, I'm sorry, Aaron. So yeah, it was a very wet session.
Working on Red and Blue, because I mean, I used to watch it. I think that show is very part of the internet culture, especially for me. Like, what was this? How it was working on it?
I loved it. Coming into Rooster Teeth, I watched a lot of the YouTube shorts, but I knew of Red vs. Blue. I hadn't watched a lot of episodes. So I had kind of the pleasure of entering into the series to like, okay, I'm a part of this now. I need to go back and like learn all of the lore. And I entered into like season 10-ish. And Kimball, the character that I play, is like a huge departure from RWBY. She's a leader, but she's very militant. She's very like put together. She knows what she wants, and she's gonna strive for it. So I liked that juxtaposition from like her and then the Blood Gulch crew, which is like this beautiful dumb thuds, you know.
I watched Red vs. Blue growing up. That's how I found Rooster Teeth. I started watching in 2004. So I was a huge Red vs. Blue fan before I even started working there. And so like getting to work at Rooster Teeth, I was like, oh my god, I'm working with Church and Griff and Simmons, and like, oh my god, they're my boss? That's so crazy. And so it's also cool because like Rooster Teeth used to be known as the Red vs. Blue guys. But now, I would say they're known as the RWBY people. So, you know.
I had also watched Red vs. Blue back when it was in like DVD form, maybe like the first 2 seasons. And then when I was asked to audition, I was like, that show is still on? And in the same thing that Lindsay said, the juxtaposition between Dr. Emily Gray and Blake, just polar opposites of each other. I would never want those two people to meet because I would fear for Blake's safety. But it was so fun to just get to have fun in the booth because Blake at the time was very like monotone, didn't talk very much, and she did, it was like very poignant. But then Dr. Gray is just like singing opera while she's like torturing somebody, and that was such a fun thing to do. It sounds really dark. It was fun to play. Yeah, and it was really cool to be like, oh my gosh, I talked to Caboose. So that was just really exciting.
Okay, thank you.
Ooh.
Hello there. Well, before I ask my question, I just want to say thank you for, doing what you do. But my question is, from all the 10 years you worked at RWBY, what are the fondest memories from working there?
Tons. One of the ones that sticks out to me is when we were recording Volume 1, Episode 8, and it's when Team RWBY and Team Juniper are in the Emerald Forest together, and they're fighting the giant Nevermore, and RWBY has to run up the side of the hill, and that was when I first screaming afterwards as her. It's like heavy anime inspired, like full throttle, full force. Our recording booth at the time was right next to our bathroom, so there were a couple takes where I'd be like trying to really get into the scene and like, and they're like, oh, pause for flush. Okay, go ahead. So.
For me, I think I have a few. It's hard to pick one. The biggest one that stands out to me is the day we premiered the first episode of RWBY at RTX, which is our convention in Austin. Like, all of us were backstage when the episode was showing to an audience that was like 4,000 people, and people were going crazy and they were so excited, and we were just backstage going like, oh my god, people really want to see this is crazy. Obviously 2 weeks ago when Bumblebee happened was like a huge moment for us, and like I could not stay off the internet because I just wanted to read everyone's reactions and like watch people like watch the scene. But yeah, and just getting to do conventions with everyone and like meet you guys is like a highlight for me.
Those are literally all my answers.
I know, I was gonna say that one, and also when we did this one time when we all cosplayed as our characters at the second RTX convention. And I think that was just something that was fun and special that we've never got to do before that, and never haven't done since.
We should do an updated version.
Should do an updated version. That'd be awesome. If we do, then Blake needs to put on some more clothes, man. She and I do not have the same style. Is she? I don't remember. Oh, because it isn't a chat. But does she have a chat? Oh, thank goodness. Girlfriend, the confidence. I can't even do that stuff. Airport, when I like really hot. I got my sweater. None of this matters. And I was just walking like, please don't look at me, I'm just really hot.
Thank you very much. Hope you enjoy.
Thank you.
Hello. Alright, so first off, before I get to my question is, I want to say thank you for coming here to Puerto Rico. It's amazing to see you four here and to represent this very popular show for us here. So thank you. Okay. So my question is this. So as we all know, RWBY started out as a web series and with Rooster Teeth, and now it's a multimedia franchise from video games, comics, and even having crossovers with BlazBlue and now with the Justice League too.
RWBY Fortnite.
Oh.
Hashtag retweet.
Oh, I don't know. That would be a badass if that would happen. But yeah, as you mentioned, that RWBY is anime influence, so I'm questioning. So I'm quite curious your thoughts on how's it feel working on RWBY Icequake, the actual anime based on RWBY. I mean, the first RWBY anime.
Right. I keep using the word, but it's true, like insanely rewarding. I grew up watching a lot of anime, so a number of the actors who dubbed our performances returned to now allow us to dub over them. So I'm still internally like fangirling about that fact. I will never get over that. But it was also really awesome to revisit the earlier volumes and kind of like reimagine the same plot points. I think we all missed being in volume 1 and 2.
It was definitely a little bit more challenging. It was the first time for me I'd ever dubbed anything before, and especially dubbing my own character. I think that's weird. You know what I'm saying? Twice. But it's something where you don't have the freedom that you do when you're recording, like really proper, because I can kind of have as much time as I want to say, and what words I want to choose to say is wise, kind of thing. And so when you're doing it really fast, freedom is limited, but at the same time it's challenging, and I kind of made it like a game, you know, you can record right into the right time. Yeah, that works. It was really, really fun and super cool that we were able to be part of a real Japanese game. It was a lot of fun to do. I call her Nega Blake. I don't know what her actually Dark Blake, I don't know what it's actually, but doing that was so cathartic. I got nothing. That was amazing. But it was an interesting challenge to now have to like match mouth flaps and to make a sentence work that fit in the mouth flaps, especially having just the animation following us instead of the other way around. So that was just a fun little challenge, but yeah. Oh, so cool.
Yeah, I mean, just a peek behind the curtain. For RWBY, when we do RWBY, we record the voices first, and then they animate everything after. For this, it's already animated, and so us having to act in our normal way we would try to act, but again, matching the mouth movements to try to fit into that Japanese animation was something that's very challenging. But it was really cool to see, again, as Lindsay mentioned, like these scenes from volume 1 and these moments from volume 1 that we know so well, because I've watched RWBY 1,000 times over, and like volume 1 is very special to us because it was the first season of the show. And so to get to revisit those moments was really cool, and also to see the Japanese animation of it was really cool. But for me, it's so funny and ironic that it's like, I'm dubbing the character that plays me, that dubs me for the English version for Japanese, and so we're just kind of like going back and forth of like dubbing each other. But the Japanese voice cast that does RWBY is so talented. And they also, I don't know if you guys have ever seen like panels with the Japanese voice cast. They like wear the colors and they're like so much into the characters, and it's really cute.
Yeah, I'm not exaggerating when I say those voice actors are like A-list voice actors in the anime community, so we are humbled. We are humbled. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm looking forward for RWBY in the Justice League.
It's really good. It's really good. Got to see it 2 weekends ago, and it was phenomenal.
I know we're obviously a little biased, but seriously, please check out RWBY in Justice League. It's awesome.
Hi.
Hi, you guys.
Yeah. Really quick reminder, I was just saying, like, thank you for making my childhood. I was a Rooster Teeth fan, even way before I was there for like the first ever Minecraft Let's Play. I was there before that.
I'm so sorry.
What do you mean that was my childhood?
I'm so sorry.
Don't worry about it. But yeah, I just want to say like thank you girls for making like my childhood. And I still can't 10 years ago. I'm seeing you in person later.
Thank you for making us all feel old. I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding.
You girls look great. Don't worry about it. Well, my question is I know you guys, when you girls guess you did voice work for RWBY Clips, the first video game. But what was it like knowing that you were going to voice act in the fighting in Blaze Blue? What was that? What was like hearing that? Oh, you girls are going to voice act this famous Japanese fighting in French. Like, what was that like?
Yeah, thoughts, go ahead.
It was so cool. But we've done a couple video games now. You know, we did RWBY Clips. We've also done Smite. We have skins in Smite, Paladin.
I forgot Smite was in.
And something that I think a lot of people don't think about with video game voice acting specifically, it's so much repetitiveness. So it's like the same thing over and over again, but in different ways. Like for Smite, for example, it's like enemy left, enemy right, enemy center, and it's like, but like 3 takes of that over and over again. And for Blaze Blue, it's similar, just like all these power-up attacks. And so it was a lot of like, dragon, like over and over again. So your voice was definitely like a little rusty by the end of it, but it was so much fun.
I honestly didn't know anything about Blaze Blue. I am uncultured. I am sorry. But it was kind of interesting to have to do all of these like really sassy sort of lines because someone else wrote the script for that, and so to collaborate with them and kind of tweak it to make it sound like more Blake. Because some of the things, it's so weird to do like one-off lines that are just like kind of cringy, but it works so well in the context of everything. So that was interesting to do, to say these just little one-offs, but definitely the repetition. Oh my gosh. You hope that like by the end of it, it still sounds good, because to you, you've done it like 1,000 times, but whoever's playing is just heard it that one time.
I also like when we do those game voiceovers, you get a page that's like 600 lines long. Yeah. It's just an Excel spreadsheet, yeah. And it's always like, okay, we're in for 4 hours.
Yeah. You've got like the various efforts, and sometimes you're electrocuted or drowning, or you die from 5 feet. You die from 500 feet, and you have to make it all different. That's the interesting part too about like the efforts. You know, you're not just getting hit. Only it's light hit, medium hit, heavy hit. And that's the skill for every sound basically you make when you're punching. So that part was new and interesting, but it was also challenging but super fun, and realizing I was sweating after 5 hours of recording was something that was new, but it was so like surreal, and we felt like so honored to be a part of that.
I also played a lot of fighting games growing up, thinking of Dead or Alive, Soul Calibur. So to get to enter into the Blaze Blue arena with like other characters that I followed from Persona, Jet Set Radio, and Crew, and to act alongside of them was awesome. Just echoing all of the sentiments of my cast. It's a workout. It's a workout to voice like video game stuff. But especially with RWBY, there's like so much like energy that you have while you're doing it and afterwards, and I feel like that reflects to the player of the game. We want you guys to enjoy while you're playing with our characters. So.
Thank you so much for being very safe.
Thank you for watching for 10 years.
We raised you when your parents didn't want to. It's an internet meme, I'm sorry. His parents are lovely, I'm sure.
Buenos días.
Buenos días.
¿Cómo estás?
Todo bien, ¿tú?
Más o menos. No, bien.
Yo soy caliente. Frío. Frijoles.
That's my beat.
I'm sorry, I'm throwing off of the beans.
Someone who's grown up for around 25 years-ish. Openings have always been one of the most important aspects. And there's not a day that doesn't go by where my Spotify playlist is left to trust love or time to say goodbye. So, which one's the favorite opening?
Favorite opening of the show?
I liked the first, honestly, volume 1.
Yeah.
When I worked at RWBY, I was able to see all the time what went into making it from Monty's aspect of it. So I love that one. It's the original. But they're all good. That's mine too, but it's because it kind of reminds me how far we've come. Because it's such a nostalgic thing at this point, which is really crazy that it's been long enough to be nostalgia. But definitely that one, because it's like the birth of the show.
I think we all like the first one. It holds a special place in our heart, but I really like the volume 9 one. Inside, it's so different than all the other intros, but there's so much to pick apart. And there's so many Easter eggs in the intro too that I love watching people just like go frame by frame. You know, like, but this, what does that mean? And why isn't there an 11 o'clock on the clock? It's just great. The internet detectives are amazing. They're sleuthing it all out. They know all the secrets. Well done. Going off what Barbara said, I do like the Volume 9 intro a lot. It's amazing. And I do like that in the time that we're in, narratively, it harkens back to the Volume 2 intro, which is one of my favorites. So there's a point where it tips, there's a point where it breaks. I'm like, well, I think we reached that point. I think we're there.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to it.
Thanks so much.
Hi. It's an honor. Y'all.
Thank you.
Y'all made my childhood. Erin, you were my favorite actress out of all of you. Blake, I related to her to no point. As of last week, I was the team who really took the cake with that part. I want to leave this question to all of you, and this is regarding last week. How did it feel when you read and heard voice and the way that she just broke down?
Acting it, I loved it. It hurt my heart to have Ruby speak to her first friend and Beacon that way, and then vice versa. Like, Ruby and John have been tight for a while, so they also share a lot of similar trauma and motivation. So I've always described them as two sides of the same coin. So it was just like so tragic to hear them speaking to each other this way. Again, I think it's understandable for Ruby to do this. Rewatching those scenes too, I'll be honest, like I cried. I cry a lot too, but it was extra like emotional. Same with this episode that just came out. It's a tearjerker.
Yeah, Lindsay was fucking phenomenal. I mean, sorry.
I think
I know, we usually don't swear on radio, I apologize. But something about the way Lindsay performed that scene where like, you could tell Ruby's like almost like hyperventilating. Like she's breathing and she's like trying to get all these thoughts out because people keep interrupting her and not listening to her or like trying to put so much pressure on her. It was just so well done and such an amazing scene. But also like broke my heart too. And I was like, how dare you tell Blake to shut up? Or not me.
I had a friend send me a text message before I even got to watch the episode, and she goes,
Ruby tells you to shut up.
I hadn't seen any of it. This, like, whenever it came out was the first time that I saw it as well. And to hear Ruby just so broken, you've done such an incredible job. Because it's like subtle too, and it's just like deep and devastating, and it's just been absolutely incredible. And the last episode was just, oh my gosh, I cried. That was dark, man. It was fantastic.
So, credits right now. He's not here, but also I'll mention, like, Miles killed that performance too. Yeah, if you want to hype him up on social media, please do. Amazing work.
Like, seeing Ruby being so quirky and, you know, so happy and seeing her in this, you know, darker path, it's very heartbreaking, I say. But at the same time, I know she's going to come out stronger, and I really hope that. Yeah. You're amazing.
Amazing too, please. We share the love. Everyone's performances this volume especially has been a huge testament to where we've come. Like, it's awesome. Oh, well.
I think you'll add that last word never happened.
We're good.
Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy Puerto Rico, you know, things of it.
Thank you.
Well, good afternoon. I'd like to say that RWBY got me into watching Rooster Teeth. So thanks to RWBY. And the show is amazing. You're welcome, thank you. So my question is, how did it feel from season 2 recording and watching the food fight scene against the Juniper?
It was so fun, it's so awesome. I love that. So creative with all of our fun facts. I actually ate swordfish last night. So there we go.
So specific. I can't get over the fact that Yang fisted 2 full turkeys. And also, why are there full turkeys in a school cafeteria? I am so confused why there are all those foods in this cafeteria. Like, what kind of school do they go to?
5-star Michelin school, yeah.
But there's also like some fun Rooster Teeth references actually in that scene, like the vending machines say people like grape soda. People like grapes is a very like old school Rooster Teeth inside joke. So like Monty would like put in those little jokes here and there. So it's really cool.
No, it was fun. Does Blake have sausage links or bread? I think she has wieners.
Bread.
Yeah. Who has the sausage links?
Oh,
Swordfish.
Let's have a bread.
Who's got the 2 baguettes? Weiss has the swordfish. Alright, we're gonna watch this and we'll figure this out. Roll the tape. Yeah. No, it was fun. That was so incredibly silly. That was just fun. And to ignore on the mound like Batman. Who's Scarecrow? Is it Scarecrow who's like sitting on the mound in Batman? She's just like, Queen of the Castle. Queen of the Castle. Good one.
I mean, the energy in that scene was, again, just like so fun to watch and to act in. I love the moment when RWBY catches Weiss and she does the like fake death scene. And go, Weiss, no! So fun.
The dread.
I'm loading the episode right now. I think people change it up. I think people use various.
I feel like they have the baguettes and the wieners.
Baguettes after.
Man, now I'm hungry. Oh man.
It's loading, so it'll probably take a while to get to the next question.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, and of course, enjoy our trip.
Thank you.
Pleasure to be here. It's an honor to meet you guys in person. I'm a very avid fan of the series as a whole, not just the 3D animation. So I have a 2-part question, to be more precise. I hope I don't take too much time. As we all know, around season 3, the father of RWBY, so to speak, Mr. O, as his soul, has parted from us. Do you believe that in any way his parting may have affected future potential for the series as a whole?
I mean, obviously I feel like it'd be difficult to say like our personal opinions on what has affected the series. I will say, a number of the plot points and acting that you've seen come to fruition have been planned since before the show even started. So I really couldn't give you a clear yes or no, but I don't think we would redo the show any other way now that we're here.
And that pretty much leads to my second one, which I believe many people are curious about. What lies in the future for RWBY? The series, the characters, the manga, even the game industry. What lies in store?
RWBY is going to space. Team RWBY is going to become astronauts. This is my headcanon. You can read my fanfic on tumblr.com. I'm also on AO3. What's up? No, hi Josh. I mean, we want to expand the RWBY universe. There are a lot of narratives that you could explore. I've seen a lot of like fan appreciation and support for like a Team Stark spinoff, if that were to happen, or maybe like revisiting some of Sayla and Ozma's time together before everything kind of went bad. So there's plenty of other areas that we can explore, and I just hope that we get to.
So Blake uses the baguettes first. She uses 2 baguettes, and then Pyrrha also uses a baguette. And then now we have Yang running to Ren with the leeks. They are fighting. I'm playing play-by-play right now. And Weiss uses ketchup, and then a swordfish. And now she's punching Ren. And I'm sure the slash is coming eventually.
I was going to, now that you say you see his face, it would be cool to see a crossover between RWBY and Sailor Moon.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
Can you imagine?
Was the original Magic series? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did that last night. Of course.
Like Ruby and Usagi kind of have similar energies. They would get along. Yeah, I agree with this.
Blake uses the baguettes and the sausage links as they.
Okay, I was just thinking. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Anyways, it's a real pleasure. I got a jet right now. It's an honor to meet you guys as a whole. You guys are awesome. Awesome, like in the face.
You're awesome. You're the one watching our show. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much for being here. That was amazing. And you guys, thank you for being here. So go ahead and have fun in Comic-Con. There's going to be more autographs, right? And photos. So follow me. You can go there, buy your tickets now. So,
Gracias a todos.